5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
Oh man. Okay, I'm not getting it wrong this time. The last 7 days in a row, I've went on to say, oh, I think this one's 17. Yeah, no, this is definitely 17. Oh, this one's 5, isn't it? Yes, it's definitely 5. And every time I go back and I say, oh, I was completely wrong. This one I'm sure is 22. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Oh, we sound good again. Yeah, I'm feeling like I missed the opportunity to say 21. Oh my, this actually reminds me of something. Well, actually, no. I was listening to TMG podcast. I think yesterday, and someone messaged in like, "Oh, I'm a teacher, and I think it was about 22," and he was like, "Oh, I said to the kids because someone in this book we were reading or something like that, his name was Jeff, and then I said to the kids, my name Jeff, guys," and none of them laughed. They just looked at him stone faced, and that's when he realized he is a boomer old man. He's not relatable to kids. Up until that point, he thought, yeah, I'm part of this generation, basically. I'm young. I'm the only teacher here they can probably relate to. And then he said, my name's Jeff. You know? And I just remembered that because I'm sitting here saying 21. I remember what's 9 plus 10. That was a thing when I was like in year 7, maybe. So, relevant. I'm holding myself hostage right now. This is a hostage. Call the police. I need saving from myself. There's a gun to my head, like the Barack Obama meme. I'm standing behind my. I'm outside. You can't see. I'm outside the window to my left. The future version of me. It's crazy. The future version of me is standing to the left of me, with a sniper rifle. You can't see the red dot because he's not using a red dot sight. He's that accurate. With a sniper rifle to my head, ready to shoot if I don't do this. That's right. I was tucked up in bed. I was like Goldilocks, just found the perfect spot. And literally just as I put my head on the pillow, like, it wasn't about to just sleep, but chuck something on, watch, fall asleep to it, whatever, relax. It's the evening. It's a Friday. Then Saturday, Sunday, yeah, and then instantly I remembered, oh no, you're not allowed. You have to do this. Remember? And to be fair, I've been technically missing the 24-hour cutoff point, like the 12-hour midnight cutoff point, like every day for the past however many days. But my whole thing is, as long as I do it before I sleep, it counts. And I think I've actually been doing it within the 24 hours, or just not within the 24-hour clock, because technically I missed a day and then went up at like 3 in the morning. So as long as I do it before 3, technically it's within the 24 hours, if you get what I'm saying. Oh God, I just burped. God, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm really tired and proud. Because I'm here. I'm here, and I could have. The thing is, if I fell asleep, it's one of those things. It's like when you wake up late and you check the time, and 30 minutes until you gotta get into work, you're like, okay, this is a nightmare. I woke up late, but this is doable. I'm gonna brush my teeth while I take a shit. I'm gonna eat my cereal while I take a shit. I'm gonna have a shower while I take a shit, and I'm gonna, we're gonna make it. And then you're sprinting in, you just about get the thing, and you're running here and then you're pushing old women out of the way. You're breaking vital bones in their bodies, but it's all worth it because you get in on time. And to be honest, if you didn't get in on time, probably no one. And the thing is, you get in on time, and it's like, I probably could have got here 10 minutes later, no one would have noticed. The manager's not even here yet, as always. That happens, and that's like a sense of panic. But like, when you have like an interview or something, and you wake up, and it's like way after, it's like the and there's no reversing. There's nothing, like, I'm powerless. It's done. It was 4 hours ago. I would have woken up the next day. Serene, peaceful. Oh, it's a Saturday. Means pretty much nothing to me. I need a proper job. It's a Saturday, and oh no, my life's ruined. I missed a day. And I just feel like if I miss a day, I don't know. I don't know what will happen. I don't even want to go there. Just, I was going to say terrorist attack, but that's just too far. One hasn't happened recently, so I don't think it's in poor taste. I mean, I say a terrorist attack hasn't happened recently. They're probably happening like every other day. They just don't report on all of them. So that's that light-hearted stuff. Let's keep that vibe going. I spoke about recently the awards season. Hosts, which one you want to get. Apparently the one that had in the Golden Globes, not so good. I didn't hear good things about him, but then when I googled it, it was just like all stuff like, oh, this joke was not funny, or basically in poor taste or whatever. And it's just like, being a host for like an award show must be like the hardest job in the world, because like, well, I'm sure being a fucking underpaid child factory worker in Vietnam working for less than 1p an hour is probably worse, or being like a prisoner of war. I wouldn't like that. But I'm just talking about in terms of like difficult to do well, like, yeah, that job is harder, packing that shit and making it and shipping it off and making no money for it. But it's probably pretty easy to get good at. It's very repetitive. You sit there, you do the same thing. Hey guys, I ain't calling you out. Hey kids who shouldn't be working and are working illegally. I hate to be calling you out right now, but I'm not saying your job's easy. That's not okay. This is going really wrong. What am I saying? I'm saying, okay, being a comedian is hard. Like, I could get those kids, like, they're kids. Kids aren't good at a lot of stuff, but they can do that job, and that's why they make them do it. By the way, I'm not saying I'm not making them do it, so why should I? Anyway, but if I tried to get one of those kids to do some stand-up comedy for me, I think most of them wouldn't do well. I'm just guessing. I don't know. They've probably got a lot of good experience to pull from, though, to be honest, and like funny observations. Maybe they would kill it, but I'm assuming most of them wouldn't. Anyway, being a comedian is just hard enough as it is my point. But then having to do it like at an award show where like you either just play it safe and just be a good host, but don't really make funny jokes because you can't, because an award show is like, you can technically say what you want, like you can like swear and say whatever the fuck you want, but you can't really. Like, you can, but you're going to be held accountable and you can't. So like, whereas when you're in your own show doing your own Netflix thing or whatever, say what you want, people will try and counsel you, but it's your own show and people who go there know what you're about, so they're there to see that. But like an award show and it's a crowd of celebrities. It's not like it's your people who have paid to come and see you and they like your stuff. It's a bunch of celebrities who basically are just there for their award, realistically. So I can imagine it's difficult. I also said yesterday, I didn't want anyone doing, and I don't know if the actual Golden Globes hosted it because I didn't watch. It's not even in this country. But I didn't want any Will Smith jokes. It's lazy. And if there was one, it would have to misdirect in some way, because it would just be so obvious the route they'd go down. And honestly, I might have to make a hit list. Not that I'm going to go kill these people, but just a list, I suppose. 0 hit, just list. And just start to chuck down names that I see doing this, because it's just so bait. And I just feel like it's the opposite of what your job is meant to be, not doing the bait stuff. Amy Schumer, fine. I'd expect it from her. James Corden, sure. I don't actually know if he'd go there, but you know what I mean. And Eddie Murphy, aka Donkey from Shrek. How to piss off a bunch of Eddie Murphy fans, but Donkey. God, he was up there, and like he was like, and it was just so obvious. And it was like, oh, I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna accept my award, and I'm gonna keep people's wives' names out my mouth. And I was just like, Eddie Murphy, you're like a comedic genius, a lot of people would say. And again, it's not because I'm like, oh, it's in poor taste, oh, it's not right. It's not right, Will's trying his best, and Jada doesn't deserve that. It's more just that it's crap, really, and a bit obvious. I know, coming from me. You didn't know? Comic genius. That's right, I studied 7 years at clown school. and what. But yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, we googled it. It was thing. I'm just going over everything I said yesterday. It was not Jimmy Carr, not Jimmy Fat. No, it was Jimmy Fallon. No, it wasn't. Jimmy Kimmel. God, if it was Jimmy Fallon. Oh dear, we are in trouble, as Filch would say. My cat. You murdered my cat. Imagine actually. God, there's some jobs where you just need to be paid a bag to do that. Working as a caretaker in like a boarding school, especially a boarding school where all of the children are magical. Right then. That is, I was going to say child abuse. He's definitely not a child. That is like elderly abuse. And there's probably reasoning for this. I don't know. Let's hire Filch, normal man, probably got like some sort of back problems, maybe diabetes, like some kind of, he's got some issues. He's old and he's definitely got like lower back problems by the way he walks. I mean, he's balding, but that's not really a health issue. Maybe just got like scurvy or he look like, I know it's like modern day, but they would have scurvy and he'd be like, "Yo, can you fix me up?" And they'd be like, "Oh, sorry, no potions for that. Back to work." And he just has to hobble around with his cat, right, cleaning up after everyone else, right. And yeah, to remind you, no magic, none at all. And we've seen Harry in like the Order of the Phoenix, or well, Slughorn or whatever. I know I'm acting like a nerd right now. When the room is like covered in mess, and then with the flip of a wand, magic wand, not that would be inappropriate. Harry's still in school. The whole room is clean within like 10 seconds, and I guarantee they have Filch working like 15-hour shifts, like scrubbing Polyjuice potion from the toilets. It's just out of order. I don't know what he ever did wrong. I just don't know why he'd take the job. Realistically, actually, he's probably been exiled from like human life, like as in like Muggle life, which means he's probably like a criminal. Like he's probably got like a really bad criminal record, and no job will take him. So he's like, God, got to work in the magical world. They're the only ones who have me. Like probably his parents are magic or something. So he's like, oh, I'll get in there. He's probably like a squib or something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, I can get in there. Because my parents were magic, so I kind of know about the world already. They'll take me, and they don't care about. They won't ask for a DBS check. Little do they know, Filch is a raging nonce, and this is a school for 11 to like 17-year-olds. Or he just loves his job. That's also a possibility. He just really loves his job. He's passionate about it. But what is the passion? What? Cleaning, taking care of bratty kids, of bratty, mostly racist children. Well, their own type of racist, non-magical kind of racism, but still discriminatory children. Most of which are probably discriminatory to Filch himself. Yeah, I'm sure he's very passionate about teaching those children of the future. Half of them grow up to be the Nazis of that world. Like. I'm sure it's great. Because like Slytherin basically are like little neo-Nazis. Like they all like believe in being pure blood or whatever. And they hate anyone who isn't, and they're all gonna grow up and work for like this Dark Lord, right, and be killers. Yeah. How can a whole house and group of people, 1/4 of the children at this school, like that? Like I know you can have schools where some kids will probably grow up to be famous and other kids will grow up to be murderers, right? But the odds of you teaching a murder at your school is probably pretty low, and it's not really a reflection of the school or even the parents. It's just it just happens, right? And Hogwarts have like a 25% rate of that happening. I mean, that's just from Slytherin. There's probably maybe other houses where it goes bad, but that's at least a Hogwarts problems. I mean, they got security issues. They got trolls in the dungeon. They've got 3-headed dogs. And just like inappropriate teachers. But yeah. My eyes really hurt right now. God. They weren't burning like this before. Or were they? They're not red like they were yesterday. Oh no, well that wasn't yesterday, whenever that was. They were red raw. I said something that reminded me of something, and then I immediately forgot it. See if we can get back to it, because I remember recently I gave up too soon, and then I remembered it. So maybe I can do it again. Filch, trolls in the dungeon. Safety issues. Why does he work there? All the kids grow up to be Nazis. Yeah, it's just a bad success rate. I'm not going to get there. I'm close to it, but I'm far too tired, and I'm not really afforded the time to be able to just sit here for 15 seconds. I probably could, actually. You know what? I'll give myself 15 seconds of pure silence just to see if my brain can muster it. Starting now. I'm just thinking about time ticking down in my head. I'm not even thinking about the thing I'm meant to be thinking of. And I just turned into a Minecraft villager. Oh man. What we at? 16 something? 16, 21, 1. I'm like, hey, what's up? What's the next like holiday coming up? You know, that's what I was saying before in Christmas time. January, February, very dull period of the year. Formula 1 is back in March, which actually isn't a million miles away. What's the date? The 14th of Jan. Comes back like early March. Drive to Survive is late Feb. You know, that'll be good. Get that in. Football's been killing me. Just so poor. I'm not talking about it again. But just so incredibly bad. And today, yesterday, misery compiled. If you know, you know. I won't go over it. I'll save you the hassle. I want to watch Glass Onion soon. So once I see that, I'll be able to give my thoughts. Haven't heard great. But here's the thing, right? I swear 99% of films haven't heard great things. Are any of them good? Ever? Like, when I try to think of a film where I actually hear good things, alright, sure. Everything Everywhere All at Once. You heard good things. Trying to think of anything else where just unanimous good things. Everything else is always like these films, the trailer looks great. I look like I'll enjoy it. And it's just people chatting was. It might be true, but I don't know. Online. Babylon, apparently. Mixed reviews. Glass Onion, apparently not as good as the first one. What else do I want to see? I don't know. It's just everything. It's like everything. These are meant to be the high quality shit. It's not like this is... Like, I would... like, a Marvel movie coming out, and I haven't seen it yet. You know, I wouldn't be surprised but to hear that. But like these are all like meant to be Oscar nominated Best Picture movies. All I ever hear is, oh, not that great. Either people are really snobby, or movies are just shite, and I don't know what we're wasting our time watching them for. A part of me feels like, would you want to be on the board? Wait, who makes the decisions? Well, you're part of who makes the decisions. Because if I was... The thing is, I'm too biased. I like the vibe too much. Like when Anthony Hopkins won, I'm like, disgraceful. You've just completely not read the room there, and they'll go, oh, well, you know, Oscar himself. By the way, who the fuck is Oscar? And why are we naming awards after him? Like you talk about who the goats of acting are, right? Obviously nowadays Leonardo DiCaprio. Was Marilyn Monroe an actor, or what did that woman do? Like, she was just famous for having a beauty mark, I swear, and being blonde. Was she like a model, a singer? Got no clue what that woman done. Like Audrey Hepburn back in the day. Daniel Day-Lewis, is that his name? He's like a goat of today, right? Like who is Oscar just like the I was about to say Ferris Bueller. What's that guy called who used to dance? Fred Astaire. Is he like the Fred Astaire of films? Who is Oscar? He's probably just some old Tory who like bought it out and was like, yo, name it after me. Right, Oscar and them are probably they was all like, oh, we're giving it to Anthony Hopkins because Anthony Hopkins was the best man that year, you know? But I'm just kind of like, sure, but Chadwick Boseman was probably really, like, it's probably so close in it. Let's just give it to Chadwick because he's dead and like it'd be a great vibe and everyone would love it. You know what I mean? But they gave it to Anthony Hopkins, the old fart, and it's like, okay, sure, he's the oldest winner ever. Great. You know, who cares? You know, give it to Chaddy. It's his last chance. And I didn't see either films, so I'm just here for the vibes. And this year's the same. Like, just give it Angela Bassett. You know. I saw some of the other acting. Yeah, that's the word. Acting performances. This year, like I think I saw Banshee. So I saw, is it Kerry Condon? I think so. And yeah, she was like good and stuff. I mean, she was like good enough. But like, even though Angela Bassett's barely in that film, and that film wasn't like a Best Picture film or whatever, it was kind of just Marvel Formula. For Marvel Formula's sake. She's still like, when I watched it and she was doing her scenes, the few she had where she was like giving it some, I was still kind of like, whoa, damn. Girl, my hairs be standing. My hairs be giving you a standing ovation right now because they be standing. Goosebumps, which horrible name. Don't like to envisage little goose eggs growing out of my skin, but that's what it's called. Yeah, I know it really bugs me actually now I think about it. Like, Kevin Feige sitting in his fucking little office like, PGA said Black Panther's a best picture nominee. Money! Well, it's not really a money thing, but it's going to be like, let's make more of that. When realistically, Black Panther 2 probably wasn't better than Black Panther 1. And it was the best film he put out last year out of all of them. But I still think he should be experimenting a little bit more than what they did in that film. I just don't like to see Kevin Feige winning. Not when he doesn't deserve it. I'd like to see him winning in general, because if he's winning in general, it means he's making good films. Which, by the way, Newcastle, why do you pronounce it film? You know, that's not even an accent thing. You're just saying it a different word. Anyway, I can't anymore. I'm literally dying. Well, I guess everyone is, but I mean, as in my head hurts. I think this is 22. And in that case, on a 23.
Here with the kids, and I've got 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet, like Euros.